So today what I thought I'd do is kind of go over some ideas of when I was in Maui. So I was in Maui last week working. I know a lot of you don't think I am, but we were actually doing surgery and doing treatments there. But we did take a little beach time off. And so I'm underneath, I am lathered up with sunblock. I am under an umbrella and I'm on my phone. I'm not relaxing. I know it's hard to do. I should be flicked in the head a couple times, but I'm on my phone, of course, and I'm doing my ChatGPT artificial intelligence research. And so I decided to kind of just go online or go with AI and check out to see what are the most popular kind of treatments or most popular concerns, cosmetic concerns that people have. And we were talking about specifically cosmetic surgery. So the most popular cosmetic surgeries now are, number one, body contouring. It's interesting that liposuction for years, for decades, have been in the top 4 of frequently performed procedures. And what I have found in 2024, and now we're already into October, that we're getting more and more phone calls from patients who are interested in body contouring. It seems that maybe coming out of COVID, we've all, we didn't get to go to the gyms like we did originally during the pandemic. Maybe we were imbibing a little bit of wine, especially here in wine country where we're sitting around watching Netflix. And so we kind of want to reclaim our more youthful, healthy look. And absolutely, we're finding that more and more people are approaching us about body contouring. In fact, really one of the most popular things that are happening that we don't do in our office right now is actually weight loss medication. So there are certain diabetic medications which have been shown to have a nice side effect of helping patients to achieve weight loss. So part of it is weight loss, but part of an issue when we look at our bodies and we may have certain concerns is the contour of our body, because certainly we get requests even from what we would call thin people or skinny people who would walk into the office and they'd say to us, Dr. Tom, what about this area here? So as we look at body contouring, there are different ways of doing this, and we're going to talk about cosmetic surgery today. So number one would be liposuction. Okay, so liposuction originally was performed under general anesthesia and with a little bit larger cannulas, or what are the suction tubes, and they would go in and they would remove fat. We have become much more refined now. I was fortunate enough to introduce SmartLipo, to be the first surgeon to introduce cosmetic laser liposuction, or SmartLipo, to Northern California, and we introduced that in 2007. I've done over 800 cases since then, and I have to say that it's a very well-received, high satisfaction rate procedure. So what is SmartLipo? So SmartLipo basically is a procedure. It is surgery, but it is minimally invasive surgery. What we do is we do this all under local anesthesia, and the most popular areas that people are concerned about tend to be around the torso or the abdomen, the waist, and the back area. The waist and back area, technically we call it the flank area, and the young kids would call it the muffin top, okay, which was a funny kind of nickname for that area when I heard that some years ago.
Love handles would be another one.
Love handles is another one. Yeah, that's the older generation. Jeff, you're a lot younger. What do you call them? Love handles or
both?
Muffin top?
Yeah, it's exchange. It's how it looks in the mirror.
Okay, see, so just an in-betweener generation. Yeah, the young kids call it the muffin top. So the muffin top definitely is an area. And what we would do is under local anesthesia, we would just make these tiny, tiny, tiny little holes. And for those who want to know exactly, they're about 3 to 5 millimeters in size, so very, very tiny. Then what we do is we just take our time. This is not a procedure that should be rushed. It's not a procedure that we should measure in terms of time of performance, because we want to go slowly, injecting local anesthesia in the area of concern. When we do that, it makes it so comfortable. There is a dentist, and I'm going to say the late Dr. Stephen Davis. He took care of me for years here in Sonoma County, and I really give him the credit for teaching me how to inject local anesthesia. Because like many of you, I didn't like going to see the dentist. Who wants to get poked in the mouth with a needle, right? Jeff, do you like going to the dentist?
Definitely like going to the doctor more.
Okay, thank God I'm a doctor, right? what he would do is when he would inject this, he'd go very slowly, and I was watching his hand as he was injecting, and I could barely see his thumb moving. And it's that slow speed that made it so comfortable. So I thank Dr. Davis for teaching me that. So the key here is not to have a surgeon be in a rush. So we take our time, inject the areas that we're going to make the little entrance sites of 3 to 5 millimeter little holes, and then we take tiny little needles and cannulas, which are just long, thin tubes, maybe 2 to 3 millimeters in size, and we slowly advance the local anesthesia underneath, and we let that local anesthesia spread underneath that area. And as it slowly spreads underneath that area, it gives us just great anesthesia. One of the neat things about local anesthesia is that it is absorbed in fat. It's what we call, technically, as science nerds, we call it fat soluble. So it actually gets absorbed into our fat that we want to remove. Therefore, it hangs around for a long time. And I've had patients who've gotten 12 plus hours of anesthesia, in other words, no pain in that area from doing things under local anesthesia. Then after we do that, we will go in and we will emulsify the fat with various devices that we have. So we're emulsifying the fat to make it easier to suction it out. And we'll go in with the laser, which also helps with the breakdown of the fat. That laser also helps to seal blood vessels so that we have very little bruising with this procedure, very little. You can get some on occasion, but it tends to be on the rarer side. And then we also run that laser fiber underneath the skin. And when we do that, we actually get a smoother result. We get a little bit of skin tightening and we get a smoother result. And that's called SmartLipo. And in my opinion, that has revolutionized liposuction of the abdomen and the flank or muffin top area, the love handle area. And patients love the results. And some will come to me and they'll actually be complaining just of the abdominal area, or what we call the front of the abdomen or the stomach. Like people just say, my stomach is fat and I have these rolls there. And so when I see them, I also evaluate them as a whole person. And what we do is we look at their waist and their backside or the muffin top. And we'll a lot of times recommend that those areas be treated as well to give you the best look. And whether you like yourself being big-bodied or you like yourself being thin, most people like to have a thin waist, okay? And so that's an area that in all sizes of patients that we can help them to feel more confident when they look in the mirror, help them feel more confident when they put on clothes, when they're out in the world. I just came back from Maui, so most people are running around in shorts, bathing suits, bikinis, and so forth. So it helps them whether we're 21 years old or whether we're 81 years old. We all want to feel good in our clothes. We all want to feel good when we look in the mirror. So it's been a very gratifying journey for me performing SmartLipo, in particular of the abdomen and the flank area. So we're looking at a procedure that may take 3 to 4 hours, and about half of that time is putting in local anesthesia. What I found is that even though it takes us a little bit longer to do the procedure, that the recovery is pretty quick. Most people are up that evening, they're up the next day. Usually in a couple days they can drive, and so it's a really well-received procedure with great results. So in terms of body contouring, that's what I'm looking at is laser liposuction or SmartLipo for patients. So